So I kept going, and I started working under Chef Ed Valente down there, who was a really great teacher, and it kind of opened my eyes up to how great food could be. We did a lot of French food there. Another Italian chef that I worked for that did French food, but we did great food, and it made me want to do more and more and more, and just the daily affirmations, to quote a great speaker, of the customers being happy and him being happy, seeing, I was a 15-year-old kid and just getting all this praise for cooking, doing something that I thought was so simple. So, I mean, that was kind of the moment that said, I've got to stay in this. I'm good at it, and people congratulate me every day for doing what I'm getting paid to do. So.
Yeah, it's got to be a rich experience. Now, Chris and Jeremy, you guys are getting literally a street education as we speak. You've started a new concept of a traveling restaurant, right? Fair enough?
Yeah.
How's your experience been so far? What's been your education to date?
20-hour days.
Yeah, that'll wake you up real quick.
That'll wake you up.
I don't know, it's the same and completely different as anything that I've ever done. Because we still do all the same techniques that I would do in any fine dining restaurant, but at the same time, we're cooking for 300 people in 45 minutes and trying to put up, that kind of food out of a 2-foot by 5-foot box, pretty much. So it's me and him work 20 hours a day together, 6 days a week. It's learning to be able to put up with someone, relationship, everything like that, reaching out to the community. I mean, one of us is always talking to somebody and just trying to draw whoever we're cooking for in. It's completely different than a restaurant where you're in the back, you're in the kitchen, and you're just cooking. I mean, right there, we're the front face. We're taking the orders. We're cooking.
There's nowhere to
food.
hide. Yeah.
We're doing everything. So it's learning people skills, communication skills, and everything. That's just been really interesting and a very big learning experience for us.
That's great. Appreciate that. Let's go to the next slide, which is passion. I was sitting at the table before we got on stage, and you could just tell everyone's passion that was coming out, and everyone's talking about everyone else's food, and obviously we're making fun of Matthew because he's not here. But the Matthew who did make it today, what's your passion, man? What gets you excited in the morning?
It goes back to the same thing, pleasing people. I mean, just doing new things and pleasing people, and it's the affirmations. I mean, I'm a pleaser in life. I want to please everybody, and seeing 100 people every night happy in my restaurant that's the driving force, and the passion just create and move forward and go to work every day where I can do something creative, and that's what really gets me going. And also being able to support all these local families. We use a lot of, or mostly all local produce and meats and all that, and seeing these families that we're helping support, these small Amish families or Mennonites or whatever, that's a new passion of mine, a newfound passion in the last 6 to 10 years. That's really cool to meet these farmers and to use their products. And I bring them up to the restaurant a couple times a year to see. We have farmer dinners, and to see what their lettuce turns out to be, which would never happen at their house, but at our restaurant it does.
Michael, I want to throw the same question. I'm very fascinated with what everyone's passion is, so we'll just kind of go down the queue. But Michael.
I would say that a big part of the passion is pleasing somebody else. I think I was cooking for a good amount of years before I started to really realize what the passion of it was. It was a job, and it was a job that I was good at, so I kept doing it. It was until I started cooking meals at home and directly feeding people and seeing that, how delicious they thought it was, or the enjoyment personally from cooking food for somebody, that I really started to think about, wow, this is a career, this is something, you can make somebody happy every day, and I think that's what keeps me going, definitely. Our restaurant has an open kitchen. I definitely get out into the dining room, talk to the customers, and to see a smile on somebody's face when they eat your food, it's definitely a rewarding experience.
Yeah, and that restaurant's become like an institution on 25th Street. I mean, everyone congregates around that particular place, so it's fantastic.
6 nights a week.
Heather, I'd like to ask you the same. Throw some moxie. Talk to us about your passion.
I agree. I think that in our restaurant, we're not fine dining. We're eclectic comfort food made with local ingredients, everything from scratch. So passion, we end up with a lot of people who have been in the industry before they come and work in our kitchen, who for them it's like this dawning moment because they're learning how to make everything on the plate with just basic ingredients. There's no boxes, there's no cans, there's nothing, frozen that we don't freeze ourselves. And I'm passionate about, like that moment when I see somebody who has been committed to the industry for a certain number, for however long, and they're actually waking up to the process all over again, where they now know I can make everything on the plate. That's the way it used to be done for a reason, and we've stepped away from that. Our food has stepped away from that in certain ways. I'm passionate about getting people excited about the process. I love to see people step into the restaurant and they just take a deep breath and just calm down, and I love that. That's food that people can afford. I also love the connection with the farmers. We have an urban farm, what we call a farm outside our kitchen. So again, it's exciting to have a new cook come in and they're actually going and picking the lettuce for today's salads and having that connection to the food and seeing the customers respond to that connection, and a farmer pulling up and delivering our, 50 pounds of rhubarb and seeing that that's going to end up on your waffle. And it just, it's exciting for me to have that connection to the food.
It's very cool. It's very cool. Now, I'll ask the two gents, the partners, what was your inspiration for the truck?
My inspiration was pretty much I got tired of serving people, stuff that most of my friends and most normal people couldn't afford. I wanted to take the same food, great food. We use all local, just like these guys. We had a farmer walk up and knock on it.
Walk up to the truck.
Walk up to the truck, knock on it, and say, "I got 5 pounds of wild arugula." And we said, "Perfect, we'll take it all." We walked outside, we scratched something off the menu, and we put on his arugula. So it's a fun thing like that. But we want to serve people great food for the lowest price. And I guess our passion is we want to see change too. Like, it was kind of something that Cleveland hadn't had. And we really want to see change. We're teaming up with Goodwill. We've had an idea for a nonprofit organization that we wanted in Cleveland that, we give people, underprivileged people, cooking classes, and we give them a trade, and we teach them. And if you do that sort of thing, they're able to break out of, the situation that they're in. So we're teaming up with Goodwill, and we're doing 2 cooking classes a week there just for their participants, for underprivileged people. And our goal is just, to transform the whole way people look at food, and our food everyone can afford, and give someone hope, give someone great food that normally couldn't go out and get it.
Yeah, and it makes people smile. We have a goofy octopus on the side of the truck. It's real easy to see. People come up chasing us down from 30 miles away just to try the food. It's not anything complicated, but it's fun and playful, and we really enjoy it. So I think that's my motivation personally. Just
homeless people eating next to businessmen.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a great thing to watch.
Eclectic. Yeah.
Very good crowd. Let's go on to the next slide if we could. Which is awareness, and by that I'm talking about, we started to touch on this, the local food movement, right? Michael, what are your thoughts? Obviously, it's a great thing. Improves the flavor of the food, improves, I think, people's awareness of the food. But what's the philosophy behind all of this? And where's it going?
I think there's a lot of different philosophies behind it, and what Matt touched on is supporting local families. That's a big one. Reducing the carbon footprint by not bringing a lesser quality product all the way from another country across the country into your restaurant, paying more for it, serving your customer something that's not as good for double the price, and having the whole community giving back to each other. We buy their food, they grow better food, and they're able to grow more specialty food stuff that's better for them as farmers, more fun for them to grow because we're using it and they're not selling it to the commodity market. So we get to, I've developed some great relationships with some farmers all over the state of Ohio. We've done seminars down at T Hills for butchering pigs when they started their pork program, and I've been doing business with them, bought their first hog from their farm and continue to buy pork from them, as well as produce farmers now just are streaming into the restaurant every day, bringing in flats of this, cases of that, and it's good to see that they get really excited that they don't have to take their produce to some pavilion and sell it for pennies, and we get to give them full price for it and make a really great product out of it.